Hello, I'm Rohan, also known as Jammy, and in this video I wanted to highlight a problem with Godot 3.3 stable, and there's an issue when it comes to the physics. If you go into your project settings and you scroll down into physics and you go into 3D, the physics engine defaults to bullet. With bullet physics, let's just make a grid map here. Now, grid map is pretty common for level editing, so if you want to do anything with a grid map, you're going to need physics for it, probably. So I can place down some tiles here. Now we have a sort of level type thing. Now we'll add in a camera here, just so we can see what's going on. Okay, there we go. So now we can see most of the whole platform. Actually, we can see the entire platform. Now I will throw in a physics demonstration. Okay, so here I've set up a little test scene where there's this kinematic body, and when you press the arrow keys you can move it around, and that all works well and good. But as you can see, we can sort of just move it off the edge here. There's no gravity, and obviously we want the player to be able to move down with gravity. So now I've added this code, which basically adds some gravity in, and the player will begin falling if they're not on a platform. However, when we come over to the scene here, you can see that when I move around, every now and then the player will begin to jitter like this. They'll bounce up and down, and it won't happen all the time, but you know, like sometimes it's not as obvious. Here, it's a little bit more subtle. But when you're moving around, your player will jitter and bounce up and down. And the only way to fix this issue is by switching to Godot physics. For some reason, the way bullet physics works with grid maps, this will always happen. You'll bounce around at the edges of tiles. And that's really inconvenient and unfortunate because a lot of people prefer bullet physics and it's the more commonly used one. If I now switch to Godot physics, you'll see that this problem isn't even in place. As you can see, now with Godot physics, we can move around totally fine. There's no issues with jittering around. No matter where I move, you can see that there's no up and down bouncing movement. And sadly, that is just something that you have to do in order to work around this. So if you have an issue with KinematicBody and bullet physics, just try switching it to Godot because that might fix it. I'm not sure if this is specific to grid maps or this also happens with other collisions. For a long time I've used RigidBody, and I'm just now trying to put together something with Kinematic, and I noticed this issue. I just wanted to bring it to attention. And just to show you, the gravity does work. You start to fall. And I'll switch over back to bullet just to show you that the gravity is in place there as well. So here we are back with bullet physics, and as you can see, once again, the bouncing thing is happening again, the jittering, and like usual, you can still fall off and everything. So with the gravity, you have that jittering issue on kinematic bodies and grid maps. Only if you're using bullet physics though. So my advice would just be switch to Godot physics. I don't really see any big reasons to use bullet over Godot physics. They both work, and apparently Godot physics works better. So I just wanted to put that out there for anybody having trouble and struggling. If you have that issue and you just can't seem to fix it, try switching to Godot physics. Thank you for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.